You're listening to Eureka on Monocle Radio, brought to you by the team behind The Entrepreneurs, the show all about inspiring people, innovative companies, and fresh ideas in global business. I'm Tom Edwards. UK-based Icelandic entrepreneur Gunnlaugur Erlendsson founded tyre startup Enso in 2016 with the goal of building a better tyre. While electric vehicles generate less air pollution and emit fewer carbon emissions into the atmosphere, they are heavier than their non-electric counterparts, and thus they put more wear and tear on tyres, which create their own unhealthy pollution. Hence, Erlendsson's timely intervention with Enso. Since its founding in 2016, his company has outfitted 1,000 London cabs and been a finalist for Prince William's Earthshot Prize. Now it has plans to grow and at scale. In June, Enso announced plans for a $500 million investment in a US factory with the goal of producing 20 million tyres, some 8% of the domestic market. We caught up with Erlendsson on the sidelines of the Bloomberg Green Festival in Seattle, the day before he explained to a packed audience why we should be talking about tyres.
My name is Gunnlaugur Erlendsson, and everyone calls me G because my name is unpronounceable. And I am the founder and CEO of Enso, and we make better tires for electric vehicles. Tires are fascinating. The long and short of it is that, of course, every tire is round, black, and has a hole in the middle. But what goes into them is really a long journey of materials, production process, and ultimately the output that we all need, because this planet couldn't run without tires. The whole economy of the world runs on tires. But we never really think about tires. We don't think about the externalities of tires, meaning the impact that they have on our planet. People don't know how bad tires are for the planet, and yet they don't know also that the technology exists to solve it. I got into this tire industry completely by accident. Before then, I was in private equity and venture capital. The whole industry is, of course, built around selling more tires. So for the industry to grow, we have to sell even more tires. But that runs really counter to the fact that tires have a huge impact, both when it comes to carbon emissions, when it comes to the materials we use with tires. For example, that tires are mostly made out of fossil fuels and carbon-intensive raw materials. We then make them in a way that I would say is not conducive to extend the longevity of these products, meaning that the industry really wants to sell you more, so they don't necessarily want them to last too long or spend a lot more to make them. And when the tires are on the road, they wear down, particularly in urban environments like cities. So in cities where you stop, start, and turn a lot of tire pollution is generated. And that tire pollution is effectively a microplastic. It's also airborne, which means that we're breathing in this microplastic, and it's toxic. So we're breathing, as we walk down the streets in our urban areas, we're breathing this toxic microplastic pollution. And there's no way to avoid that at this stage. And what was really the foundation of Enso when we set up our mission to make EVs more successful by extending range and reducing tire pollution was the realization that electric vehicles were actually generating even more of this kind of pollution because of the weight and torque of those particular vehicles, as well as the fact that we tend to drive them in those cities where generally tire pollution is created. You're looking at what most people perceive to be a boring product, something that they don't even want to think about. But when it comes to the whole underpinning of our planet and our economies and the way of life, we couldn't do it without these products. And so we need tires, but we need them to be better. Enso started really with the idea that we focus on where the demand is the highest. And the highest demand at the moment with tires is really on the electric vehicles that drive the most. These are the vehicles that have the highest mileages and also have some of the highest tire wear due to their nature of the vehicle and where they're driven. So those high mileage use cases, electric vans, electric taxis, shared vehicles, they're driven sometimes 2, 3, 4, even 5 times more than your average car, meaning that these are the vehicles that we could deliver our products first on and work directly with those electric vehicle fleets that operate them to reduce their cost of operation. The customers we work with, of course, often have ESG credentials, and are some of the largest electric vehicle fleets already in Europe. But what's really fascinating is we're not trying to sell this on an environmental basis. That's a nice to have. What we're selling this is based on the fact that we're reducing their total cost of ownership. And to clarify that, the customers we're selling our products to are spending less on their energy bill, and they're spending less on their tire bill because we save them energy every mile, and our tires are more affordable to buy because we cut out the middlemen, and they last longer, so they buy fewer tires. So by saving on the energy bill and the tire bill, our customers save money. A lot of what we do is about improving the product, meaning that we use high-grade raw materials that are marginally more expensive to buy, but they deliver more energy efficiency and higher tire durability. Part of it is the tire engineering itself, how we construct these tires for particular electric vehicles. And part of it is that we manufacture these in brand new state-of-the-art facilities where we're able to squeeze out the highest performances. But beyond the product itself, a critical component is really data, in the sense that we have access through our direct supply chain of supplying electric vehicles, directly our tires, to read the data from their vehicles, because most electric vehicle fleets have telematic systems. And those telematic systems tell those customers how many miles they drive, how much they pay in electricity, and how they operate. And by harvesting this data from our customers, we put that back into the product so that every time we make a new tire, we're continuously improving it. And that effectively means that when it comes to replacing the tire next time round, we give our customer an even better product with a very short time horizon between the two. And that really drives the innovation, because at the moment, when a normal tire company produces a product, they generally have no clue where it even ends up, let alone have access to harvest the data. But it is this close communication between us and our customers through the fact that we sell our tires directly to them, which enable us not just to reduce the cost per unit, making the tires more affordable to buy, but also continuously improve them based on the best data available. Ultimately, what I think is really interesting is the fact that we're talking about tires. We're talking about the impact they make. And it really is critical that people start talking about tires, because if people don't want to be generating tire pollution and don't want to be generating the impact from tires, that's fine, but just don't drive anywhere. Accept that all the products you buy are delivered to you somehow on tires. So I think tire pollution is inherently connected to how we humans live on this planet. And so to say that we can stop generating tire pollution, yeah, that's fine, but we can only stop tire pollution if we don't drive anywhere. I don't think that's likely to happen, so we better get very busy very quickly about making tires a lot better than they are today.
That was Gunnlaugur Erlendsson, the founder and CEO of Enso, and you can learn more about the business. Head on over to ensotires.com. And that's all for this episode of Eureka. We'll be back at the same time next week. Do look out for The Entrepreneurs. The main show drops every Wednesday. Eureka was produced by Laura Kramer with audio editing by Jack Dewars. You can listen again and find out more at monocle.com, or follow us and catch up with the archive wherever you get your podcasts. To contact the team, message Laura on lrk@monocle.com. I'm Tom Edwards. Goodbye, and thanks for listening to Eureka.